Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Malcolm Webb, Chief Executive of Oil and Gas UK, and I have the honour to be the Chairman of Piper 25. This conference has been developed in a manner to enable you to tailor your conference experience to the areas and topics of particular interest to you. We have over 80 excellent individuals giving presentations over the coming 3 days. And if there are several of you from the same company, I hope you'll spread your participation so that you can cover maybe all of those presentations between you. All of the plenary presentations take place in this room. And these sessions comprise keynote addresses given to all conference delegates and are designed to stimulate you and your organisation to reflect on where you stand on safety. Time simply does not allow for questions and answer sessions at the end of each plenary presentation, but I know that the speakers will be in and around the conference after they've spoken, and they have told me they'll be pleased to meet and discuss matters with you. Now, besides the plenary presentations, there will be a separate set of parallel sessions held each day outside the time of the plenary and in the adjoining rooms. These parallel sessions are designed to allow you to move between the subjects over the course of the coming 3 days. So again, please take a little time to plan your path through these sessions, which are all clearly set out in your conference programme. And please do participate to the full in those sessions. Their comments and questions will be actively sought and welcome, because learning and sharing of knowledge and experience is a key goal for this conference. Each parallel session has its own chairman, with the topics for discussion grouped under the following themes: Safety Management Systems and Control of Work, where the chairman will be Boyd Wright of Oil and Gas UK. Major Hazard Management and Safety Technology, chaired by Trish Sentence of the Wood Group. Human and Organisational Factors, in which Bob Lauder of Enquest will take the chair. Emergency Preparedness and Response, chaired by Robert Patterson of Oil and Gas UK. And finally, but for today only, Advances in Fire and Explosion Engineering under the chairmanship of Bassam Bergen of the Steel Construction Institute. Each day will start in plenary and then will later divide into the parallel sessions. But on Thursday afternoon, please note that we'll all reconvene here together for a final wrap-up session, including a panel discussion, when delegates' questions will be put and answered before the event is then finally closed. Now, please do send us your questions as they occur to you through the next few days, and we'll try and make sure that they're asked at that final session. And you can do this through the conference via email or Twitter, if you like that. And the addresses for that are in your programme. They're on page 13. But if you wish, you can also write them down on old-fashioned pen and paper and hand them in at the information point. And Piper 25 is not just a conference. Step Change and Safety and the HSE have also come together to arrange a special workforce engagement event. So tomorrow, I'm delighted to say that an additional 500 representatives from the workforce will be coming to the AECC. And the workforce engagement event, as its name implies, is designed especially for those representatives from the workforce. So I'm afraid your conference registration doesn't admit you automatically to it. But we will share the same refreshments and catering area, and so you'll have an opportunity to mingle, meet and discuss matters of common concern with those representatives in the coffee and lunch breaks. Please also do take some time to visit our exhibition space over the next 3 days. All of the exhibitors are, of course, with a focus on safety, and we're delighted to have them with us. Most of the presentations delivered through this conference will be available via the Oil and Gas UK website after each day, and furthermore, plenary presentations will be filmed and shared across our industry in the UK and abroad. And finally, I should say that none of this would have been possible without the generous support of our sponsors for this event, whose details are in the conference programme, but in particular, I would like to thank Piper 25 principal sponsor, Talisman Sinopec Energy, and supporting sponsors Maersk Oil and Nexen. Their support was not just financial, important as that is, but they also gave us ideas and inspiration for the content and design of this conference. So, having given you a safety briefing and some general information on how the conference is structured, I suggest we now get on with the proceedings proper. I need hardly remind anyone in this room 167 men died as a result of the catastrophe at Piper Alpha. 167 lives lost, plus hundreds, if not thousands, of others directly impacted by the disaster. Several of whom, including some who were on the platform itself, I'm very proud to say are with us at this gathering today. With every passing year, we in this industry continue to reflect upon the awful events of the 6th of July, 1988. However, a 25th anniversary does seem to have a particular resonance, a quarter of a century, another generation coming through. And in that context, it seemed particularly important to Oil and Gas UK that we come together this year to affirm and recognise that the lessons learned from the tragedy are still held dear by us all today. That there are no grounds for complacency on safety, and that we must never stop learning and improving in the cause of safety. Indeed, safety must be at the heart of all that we do in our industry. Furthermore, and without lessening the importance of those reflections, it's also appropriate for us to consider the progress which we, industry and regulators alike, have made over the past 25 years, and how things might be improved still further as we continue on our never-ending journey towards better outcomes on safety. So at Piper 25, we will hear from a series of leading speakers from this country and from abroad, and from our own and other industries, who will share their views and experience to help us in our case for constant improvement on the safety of all of our operations in the UK offshore areas. 25 years ago, a terrible, terrible price was paid for a failure to think and act first and foremost and constantly about safety when planning and performing our work in the oil and gas fields offshore these islands. We must pass those lessons on to the coming generations. Equally importantly, we must never fall from the path of continuous improvement in safety. Every person working in this great industry of ours has the right to come home unharmed from their work. Although we have indeed improved our performance over recent years, we still have much left to do to achieve that goal. You may have heard the sad news that 2 workers in the Dutch sector of the North Sea lost their lives and another was injured in an incident only last Friday. So let us be clear and unequivocal. 25 years after Piper Alpha, we are still not in a satisfactory place on safety. We should feel uneasy about safety on the UK continental shelf because we still have such a great deal to do, all of us, leaders, management and workers alike, to improve our behaviours, our attitudes and our performance on safety. This conference is called in order to remind us all of that and to help us all move forward with greater speed and determination to make this industry as safe as it should be. That is a hazardous industry, that's an unavoidable fact, but one in which none of its workers and none of its neighbours should suffer any injury as a result of our work.